Have you ever wondered if a single song can hold the soul of an entire decade? Long before the Beatles changed the world, before Woodstock became a legend, there was a quiet explosion, a cultural tremor that pulsed through every diner radio and every glowing jukebox in America. This was the 1950s. Today, we're not just revisiting the greatest hits. We're going to excavate the sonic artifacts, the deep cuts that only those who were there can truly nod their heads to. We'll uncover the story of a confession written by a soldier on late-night guard duty, and a tune that accidentally became the anthem for an entire generation's job anxieties. Join me, your memory keeper, as we turn back the clock. This isn't just a list. It's a ticket back. Number 13, I Got a Wife, the Mark IV, 1959.
I got a wife at home. I got a wife.
Let's kick things off with a curious little gem, a sonic artifact from the world of the novelty song. These were the funny, sometimes goofy tracks that perfectly captured the era's sense of humor. Released as the decade was gasping its last breath, I Got a Wife is a light-hearted complaint about the chains of married life. A timeless topic, but told in the fresh language of the first rock and roll generation. This song had no ambitions to change the world, but it absolutely succeeded at cracking a smile and earning a modest spot on the Billboard charts.
He don't love her anymore. There he goes right.
In the late 50s musical ecosystem, dominated by sweeping love ballads and rebellious rock anthems, a song like this was a necessary palate cleanser. It doesn't carry the heavy cultural legacy of the others on our list, but for those who remember it, it's a reminder that the music back then also knew how to poke fun at itself. And for that reason, it's the perfect appetizer for our journey today. From the humor of everyday life, let's now turn to one of the most profound feelings of youth, standing on the doorstep of adulthood.
I got a wife at home. I got a wife.
Number 12, I've Come of Age, Billy Storm, 1959.
I've come of age.
If ever there was a cultural seismograph for that jarring transition from teenager to adult in the late 50s, this song is it. Billy Storm's I've Come of Age is a sweeping, dramatic ballad, drenched in cinematic strings and powered by a desperate vocal performance that sounds ripped from a Hollywood melodrama. The song is a declaration, an acknowledgement of taking on responsibility and leaving innocence behind, which was pretty heavy stuff for a pop single. The fascinating thing is, despite its classic sound, it's an obscure gem that has largely been forgotten. Produced by the legendary Herb Alpert himself, the record used the studio technology of the day to create a massive soundscape, a stark contrast to the raw simplicity of most doo-wop. It didn't start a movement, but it perfectly captured the zeitgeist's undercurrent of anxiety and hope as the post-war generation truly came into its own. Number 11, Midnight Stroll, The Revels, 1959.
A poor soul doing the dead man.
This is a haunting instrumental, the perfect soundtrack for a late-night, aimless drive under neon lights. Midnight Stroll is an outlier here because it's almost entirely wordless, save for the chanted title and an eerie whistle. But its minimalism is its power. This track, with its moody saxophone and slinking rhythm, creates an atmosphere that no lyrics ever could. The Revels were a racially integrated band, a progressive setup for the time, and their music was a melting pot of proto-surf rock and R&B. Midnight Stroll became a cult classic, its cool factor cemented by its inclusion in George Lucas's American Graffiti and later, Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. It's a testament to the track's enduring legacy as the epitome of mysterious cool, and a reminder that sometimes the most powerful statements are the ones left unspoken. Number 10, I've Had It, The Bell Notes, 1959. Acting as a primal roar against the sweet love songs of the day, I've Had It is a shot of pure, uncut rock and roll. This is the sound of teenage frustration, a rebellion distilled into 2.5 minutes. The song's secret is its brutal simplicity, a driving guitar riff, a pounding drum beat, and a lead vocal that almost screams the title hook. It wasn't sophisticated, but it was honest, and that's all the kids needed. The Bell Notes were a band out of Long Island, New York, who caught lightning in a bottle with this one-hit wonder. At a time when America was enjoying economic prosperity, but its youth felt suffocated by social conformity, songs like I've Had It were a pressure release valve. It may not have had philosophical depth, but it had raw energy. It stands as a clear ancestor to garage rock and punk rock, an undeniable legacy built on the power of 3 chords and a bad attitude. Number 9. Short Shorts, The Royal Teens, 1958.
Who wears short shorts? We wear.
If one song could bottle the innocence, fun, and just a hint of cheekiness of a late 50s summer, Short Shorts is it. Its origin story is as spontaneous as the song itself. A young Bob Gaudio, then a member of the band before he'd go on to write monster hits for the Four Seasons, saw 2 girls in the titular attire walk past their car and blurted out the phrase. A hit was born. This song was a true cultural phenomenon. It wasn't just music, it became a catchphrase, forever linked to a fashion trend and the carefree spirit of the youth. The simple, infectious saxophone riff and the endlessly repeated hook created a national craze. While dismissed by some critics as silly, it's proof that pop music doesn't have to be serious to be impactful. It's a moment of pure, unadulterated fun, frozen in time. Number 8. Sea Cruise, Frankie Ford, 1959. Alright, let's leave the familiar streets behind and set sail on a high-energy voyage. Frankie Ford's Sea Cruise, powered by the legendary New Orleans pianist Huey "Piano" Smith, is pure Louisiana fire, joyous, frenetic, and impossible not to dance to. A little-known fact, the original recording by Huey "Piano" Smith's band didn't have the iconic ship horn and bell sound effects. Producer Johnny Vincent overdubbed them later, a stroke of genius that turned a great song into an immortal one. This song was pure escapism. In a world grappling with Cold War tensions, Sea Cruise offered a fantasy of a nonstop party on the open water. Frankie Ford's powerhouse vocals and Smith's rolling piano created a sonic hurricane, transporting the listener to a place free from worry. Its legacy is in bringing that unique New Orleans sound to a national audience, influencing countless artists for decades to come. Number 7. Come Softly to Me, The Fleetwoods, 1959. In the midst of all the rockabilly swagger and R&B shouts, a whisper cut through the noise and went straight to number 1. Come Softly to Me by the Fleetwoods is a moment of radical gentleness, a ballad built on almost nothing but the sublime harmony of 3 voices. Its secret lies in its stunning minimalism. The song was recorded a cappella, and that soft percussive beat you hear? That's just one of the band members gently shaking his car keys. The Fleetwoods, a trio of high school kids, created a sound that was utterly unique. It wasn't doo-wop, and it wasn't traditional pop. It was something ethereal and dreamlike. In an era where rock and roll masculinity was often defined by aggression, Come Softly to Me proved that vulnerability could be immensely powerful. It laid the groundwork for soft rock and dream pop, a lasting legacy of subtlety and the beauty found in quiet.
Come softly, darling.
Number 6. Party Doll, Buddy Knox, 1957.
Come along and be my party doll. Come along and be my party.
This is the sound of distilled rebellion, bottled as a rockabilly classic. Buddy Knox wrote Party Doll while he was in the Army, and the first version was recorded at a radio station in New Mexico for just $60. That raw, unpolished energy is precisely what gives it its charm. The song is a simple declaration from a young man who just wants to have a good time, an attitude that flew in the face of stuffy adult society.
Come along and be my party doll. Come along and be my party doll.
Party Doll isn't just a song. It's an all-access pass to the rock and roll party. It has an infectious vitality, an energy that radiates from its signature guitar riff to the hand-clapped rhythm. It was a major influence on Buddy Holly and countless others, helping to define the rockabilly sound. Though Buddy Knox never quite captured that magic again, with Party Doll, he left an indelible mark, an invitation to the dance floor that is still impossible to refuse.
Come along and be my party doll. Come along and be my party doll.
Number 5, Little Darlin', The Diamonds, 1.957. We now enter the pantheon of doo-wop gods. While originally recorded by the Gladiolus, it was the Diamonds' cover of Little Darlin' that became the definitive, genre-defining version. What makes it so magnificent isn't just the melody, but the performance. The spoken-word bridge, My Darlin', I Need You, is the perfect blend of high drama and slight absurdity, becoming one of the most memorable moments in music history.
Little darling. Little darling.
The Diamonds, a white group from Canada, brought an R&B song to a massive mainstream audience, a prime example of the cultural crossover that was happening in music at the time. The sound of the record, with its deep bass vocal and soaring falsetto, set a gold standard for doo-wop harmony. It's a masterclass in vocal arrangement, a hymn to teenage yearning that has stood the test of time to become one of the decade's most beloved anthems.
I love her. I was wrong.
Number 4, Get a Job, The Silhouettes, 1958. If early rock and roll was about cars and puppy love, Get a Job was a splash of cold, hard reality. This is arguably the first great doo-wop song of social commentary. The lyrics, chronicling the pressure to find employment to support a loved one, struck a deep chord with millions of young Americans entering adulthood amidst economic uncertainty. The nonsensical phrase, "sha-na-na," became iconic, later even inspiring the name of a famous revivalist band. The song's origin was beautifully mundane. Lead singer Richard Lewis's mother was nagging him to go out and find work. He turned that nagging into a national #1 hit. Get a Job is a cultural seismograph, recording the economic anxiety that lay just beneath the surface of post-war prosperity. It proved that pop music could be catchy and deeply relevant at the same time, a legacy that would inform everyone from Bob Dylan to Bruce Springsteen. Number 3, In the Still of the Night, The Five Satins, 1956. This isn't a song. It's a prayer, written by Fred Paris while he was on guard duty in the Army. In the Still of the Night is imbued with a level of yearning and sincerity that is almost otherworldly. The original was recorded in a church basement, and that space seems to have blessed the track with a sacred quality, an echo that reverberates through time. Though it wasn't a massive national hit upon release, its endurance is legendary. It became the unofficial soundtrack for countless slow dances, whispered confessions, and broken hearts. Critics, including Rolling Stone magazine, have since recognized it as one of the greatest recordings of all time. Its legacy is its raw emotion. It's proof that a song written in a moment of profound loneliness can connect millions of souls across the decades. Number 2, S.H. Boom, The Chords, 1954.
Back in the 50s, let's tune up. Did it.
Here we are, standing before a landmark, a prime contender for the title of the first rock and roll record. S.H. Boom, by The Chords is an explosion of pure joy and optimism. It sounded like nothing else that had come before it. With its a cappella intro, swinging rhythm, and a wild saxophone solo, it broke all the rules. The title phrase, "sh boom," means absolutely nothing, and yet it perfectly encapsulates all the pent-up energy and excitement of a new generation.
Life could be a dream. Life could be a dream. 1, 2, 1, 2.
This song was a cultural bridge. The Chords were a black R&B group, and sh boom crossed racial lines to become a smash on the pop charts, a rarity in 1954. A sanitized cover by the white group The Crew Cuts was an even bigger commercial hit, sparking debates about cultural appropriation that continue to this day. But the original by the Chords remains the lightning strike, the moment of creation that kicked the door open for a new era in American music. From the explosion that birthed a genre, we now arrive at the melody that achieved immortality, the definitive hymn of first love.
Life could be a dream.
Number 1. Earth Angel. The Penguins, 1954. And here it is. The number 1 spot could go to no other song. Earth Angel is more than just a hit record. It's a part of America's collective memory. If you've ever been to a high school dance, whether in 1955 or 2025, you can feel the power of this melody. It is the absolute embodiment of innocent romance, of teenage longing, and the desperate hope for a love that will last forever. The surprising truth is that the recording is far from perfect. You can hear slight flaws, a note that's a bit flat, but that very imperfection is what makes it feel so authentic and human. But the ultimate legacy of Earth Angel was cemented by pop culture. When Marty McFly takes the stage in the film Back to the Future to play this song so that his parents will fall in love, Earth Angel became transcendent. It was immortalized for a whole new generation. It is the sonic artifact that proved a simple song, sung from the heart, could literally change the future. The tracks we've listened to today are more than just old songs. They're pieces of a larger mosaic, the story of a changing America and of a generation finding its voice. From humorous complaints to sacred hymns of love, the music of the 1950s laid the foundation for everything that followed. So now I ask you, what song defines the 1950s for you? Whether it was on this list or not, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to join us as we unearth more forgotten musical histories. Thanks for taking the trip back with me.